Welcome back to Still Sports this morning, broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. We're having fun talking sports. Particularly, we have an eye on the Super Falcons matter. We are still on that matter until we get out of it. We will not stop. And you listen to Ayo Omidiron. She suggested ways that can take us out of it. Do you agree? What are the ways you think we can stop this problem and have top-notch players welfare in Nigeria? Be part of the program. Yes, you can. On Twitter, our channels_sports, Facebook, channels_sports. You can send us an email. It's sportsthismorning@channelstv.com. Put perspective to the matter. Let's hear your voice. We'll read your messages, your comments, your questions, your suggestions right here on the program. This show, we keep telling you, is designed for you. It's simple. Just use the hashtag #SuperFalcons. Hashtag #SuperFalcons. Let's just stay with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. It's not a sweet story, but we want to ensure that the federal government come to the aid of the girls, the NFM, the sports ministry. Everyone does their bit to make sure that those girls have a beautiful Christmas celebration. Let's come back to the studio now. It's a Friday morning. Ben Alaiya joins us now live on the program. Ben, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, a delight to be here, and hopefully the Super Falcons will be paid today. That if we take the words of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President Abakia, is it Abakia? Let's pay this guy. It's getting embarrassingly sad.
Wow. Ayo Omidiron just suggested that we don't need to go for every tournament, that the NFF should plan within what they have in terms of funding. Do you agree?
Yes, but do Nigerians agree? Now we have said this, there are developmental programs and there are major tournaments. This one that the African Women Nations Cup is a major tournament, and Nigeria cannot afford not to be part. A tournament that we have won 8 times, and if we count the previous 2 before it became a major tournament, that is 10 times out of 12. That is amazing. I mean, this is of all national teams. However, her suggestion is also key. But she also made a point, which was that, look, if we plan well, and take our programs to corporate Nigeria, get some money from government, because every year money is appropriated for sports, for football, for everything. It's usually not enough. The balance is supposed to be sourced from the private sector. But if the private sector does not have the confidence in the system, they will not bring the money out, even though there are tax holidays. I think it is incumbent on the leadership of the sports ministry, the federation chairman, and all the board members to start to think, let the corporate world trust you, and then we can get money to run sports properly.
Interesting. I mean, and obviously the tweets are coming in, Austin. I've got this one from Ogunjimi Lucas. He is not agreeing with Nigeria actually not going to all competitions. He wants, that's what you just said. Now, will Nigerians agree? Because if you claim to be a superpower in sports, then you have to be a part of all these competitions all around the world.
I take Brazil, for instance.
And that's where the
in almost every sport, Brazil is almost like a champion. You remember at Senna in car racing? I mean, in volleyball, in basketball, they are there. In wrestling,
well, because they have a good funding system,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying about the planning.
Nigeria, the population should be it should not be a disadvantage. It should actually be an advantage. If, for instance, the National Sports Lottery Fund, if it is well utilized, if you go to buy a lottery fund and you do lottery and you are paying, let's even say 50 naira, at the end of the year, if 50 million Nigerians just do that lottery funds, can you imagine how much it could generate? What will you use it for? It's to fund sports. And there are avenues that are existing that are not even being looked at or even being utilized. I think we should wake up to the reality that everything cannot come from Aso Rock or from the presidency or from the sports ministry. We should also go to the corporate world. That's why, again, I'm excited that somebody like Aisha Falode is coming into the Nigerian Women's League. I know her pedigree. I know her zeal to get to the corporate world. And I think the corporate world trusts such a woman that if they give her some money, she will utilize it well. I'm sure that the next Nigerian Women's League will be sponsored. Mark my words.
Okay, well, we're hoping for that because it's really not looking pretty or funny at all. When you're telling the stories of the Super Falcons. I mean, I was surprised in that report by Larry Lasisi where the House of Rep had to give them a standing ovation. I was like, they won it like when? On the 4th, right?
No, it's just to appreciate.
That's a different.
What's yesterday's date? So I was like, I mean, these things, you have to wait for it to get so far before you know that, look, you actually have girls, called Super Falcons who just won a championship. Austin
always talks about leadership, everything rising and falling. Leadership. Right, I mean, it cuts across. It's not only football that we have these problems of funding. So that means something has to be wrong with the guys that are leading these federations. I mean,
absolutely. At times, again, it is the antecedent. Some people have been there before and they were not trusted. So when new people come in, they are not also trusted. I recall, I am very close to Solomon Ogba, who's still the president of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Every time they were going for a competition, money was always not appropriated. He has to search for money on his own, and maybe later, several months later, he might be paid, he may not be paid. They keep shifting the goalposts. They owed him so much during when Dr. Patrick Ekeji was DG NSC. He didn't get paid until Alassane Yakmut came, that he was paid some. I'm not sure if they are not still owing him now. So many federation chairmen. And when you listen when you look at the report of the Kenka committee that was recently set up, there are too many committees that were set up that Kenka was so sure his committee's report will be implemented, but is that what we are seeing? And the answer is no.
No, we're still waiting for that one to be implemented. I mean, and I talked about the leaders of this federation.
Yes.
But if you look at it very well, it might not just be like they're the guys at fault entirely. Well, what about the system? Does the system allow them to actually, express themselves, carry out all the planned programs and for the different federations? There's a lot of problem right there. Policies, we'll talk about political will all the time. It just seems that we're taking baby steps, Ben.
It's amazing the way we do things. We have good people with good ideas, really, on how to move things forward. But again, one of the problems with Nigerian sports is lack of consistency in leadership. We tend to emotionally change leadership all the time, too much. And look at how long that the former president of FIFA, Yao Havelange, stayed in FIFA and stabilized FIFA, handed over to Sepp Blatter, who was, I'm not sure he was disgraced, he left, but he made a lot of strides and made FIFA the richest organization in the world before leaving. And look at, you will see how how long he will stay there, the current FIFA president, he will stay. And so you see in every federation,
there's continuity.
Yes, there's continuity. In England, you see the FA chairman will be there for like how many years you can count. And so there is when the person comes, but these people must be above board. If you are seen to be impeccable in character and maybe, as they say, investor and also learning, you stay there for as long as your hands are like this. If you are clean, then you continue to stay. But at times, emotionally, we just throw away people who should have helped Nigerian sports. For instance, I'm still at a loss why we had to remove Alhaji Ibrahim and Galadima going by his character as the then NFA chairman over 10 years ago.